Hello, and welcome back to Quantum Suicide. On the last episode, we lost Shizuka, our resident gamer, and we had tried to help Yoshiki calm down Katashi, who was not handling that the best. It seems like it worked. Well, I say it seems. We don't know how well that's going to go. And now we're on bidding wars again. For the first time I'm aware of, the twins have been split up, and currently, besides Vladimir being with everyone else, we have a battle of the sexes, male versus female. And currently it's Yoshiki, Katashi, myself, and Nicholas in the Eco Lounge preparing for a plan. I believe if we were to compare it to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, ourselves as Leonardo, the leader, as we've got the captain role, Nicholas, the smart one, Donatello, Katashi's currently in an emotional state, the angry one, Raphael, and Yoshiki, the fun party one, Michelangelo, clearly. Anyway, so let's see where we go.
It sounds like too much maths.
See, you can picture it already. You're an engineer. You use maths all the time. Does he though? I feel like he just hits things together until it sticks.
Well, I should.
Yep. What do you mean you should? Is this ship even safe? Apparently not, according to his family history.
Gentlemen, Yoshiki's questionable engineering practices are the least of our worries when at least one person's death is already certain on Sunday.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Sorry, yes, sorry, back on task. So if the goal here is to win this the war, we need to make sure that we win as many of the battles as we can. The thing is, though, Nicholas has an incentive to lose, because it guarantees that his sister stays alive. Yoshiki wants everyone to live, so he doesn't have that. We only have whatever biased I have, I guess. And Katashi, I would imagine, just wants everyone to lose because he lost Shizuka. That's probably wrong, because Katashi seems like the type who also wants everyone to live. And Shizuka would be his bias, but obviously she's gone. Maybe the first round would be impossible to predict, but it might help us guess their next move after that.
If we go into the first round with a 7 or an 8, we can see if they're using high numbers too. If they beat our high number, we know they've picked one even higher.
You mean 9 or 10? Well done, Yoshiki. I mean, the plan works, but 7 or 8, that's too high. Maybe, I say 8's too high. 6 or 7, I'd say, is probably what we need. And that would mean both teams would have only used 1 or 2 low numbers. And that might be useful information.
Good start. Katashi, what do you think?
I personally don't see the good side of this plan, personally.
What difference does it make? If we win, one of them dies. If we don't, one of us.
If we tie, 2 of us is all 8 of us.
Who cares which?
Yep.
This might come as a shock to some, but I enjoy and plan to continue living.
But what about Beatrix? He couldn't protect or help her. His moves could kill her, and he wouldn't know.
I'm just not in the mood to play murder games right now.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to be. You have a week to get your game face on.
Yoshiki, for once, is right. We can deal with strategy more extensively closer to Sunday.
No, we can't, because someone always breaks the rules. It's most likely Katashi this time, instead of Katashi and us. Katashi's just gonna say, like, forget about it, we're gonna do it this way. Whatever happens, we need to try and protect ourselves. I'm with Nicholas on this one. I don't want to die.
Me neither. Come on, team. We can do this.
This is basically the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Let's keep up that enthusiasm, Yoshiki.
We all have work we could be doing.
Yeah. We're at your... basically where you work, right? Because you handle the livestock and cooking.
All right. We'll all meet back here Friday morning.
What day is it? It's Monday, right?
You're giving orders now?
We need to pull ourselves together. I am simply organizing our front.
It's true. I'm happy to meet on Friday morning to start our strategy.
Very
I
well.
was going to say energy.
Aye, aye, Captain.
But you're not the captain, I am. Yoshiki saluted playfully, Katashi rolled his eyes and just waved as he left, giving the impression that he would be in attendance. Given the impression, that does not mean he will be. I left the Eco Lounge deep in thought. My mind was on so many things at once. Shika's death, bidding wars, the activating die, the pocket watch, and the mysteries it held. Can you imagine being stuck in this situation, and you just know one person somewhere is just too busy focused on a watch. Everyone else is dying around that person, and they're standing there, like, not necessarily happy, but oblivious to what's happening around them. My nightmares were getting worse. Images of my parents, Shizuka, Sora, all danced through my head. Oh, through my lifeless, okay. There were also a lot of clocks, because you keep staring at the pocket watch. They were dangling from chairs and ticking. Okay, why are the chairs there? And their hands spinning either furiously fast or slow, so slow it barely detectable. Waking up with it was a relief. I sat in bed, staring into the darkness, lost in my thoughts. That pocket watch was clearly at the front of my consciousness. However, I still don't understand how it works, or how or why it works. From my understanding, we need to be next to a wormhole, that's about it, or a black hole. I needed help. The time dilation. Is time dilation supposed to be, oh, this is the weakest point in the timeline where one person can hop from another person? Like imagine there are walls, and then the time dilation is just like, instead of a wall of brick, it's just a wall of paper that's been doused in water. All you have to do is just walk through it. I couldn't talk to the members of the other team at all, which complicated things. I could only go to my own team for help. Maybe one of them knew something, though. About the watch, about my parents, or what travelling through multiple dimensions would do. But who? We haven't talked to Yoshiki in so long, I'm going for him. I didn't want to show the watch to just anyone. I didn't know what I could do, and I didn't know who I could trust, especially with this deletion game still going on. But I was sure I could trust Yoshiki. I mean, can Yoshiki trust us? The very first thing we did when he met us was tell us a secret, and we betrayed that trust. I arrived at the gym to find him straightening out his bow tie.
Good morning!
Good morning.
Are you coming for a swim? Aw, I just finished. You should have told me and I would have waited for you.
You should have told us you were going swimming. We would have joined you. No swimming. I was looking for you, actually.
You found me. Great work.
Thank you. It's my detective skills. Haha. So, so you just finished swimming?
Yep. Just got dressed. Now I'm ready to tackle the marvels of engineering.
Do you not have, like, a locker room or something? Why are you getting dressed here? I guess I'll walk with you then.
That would be an honor, bestie.
Sure thing, pal. As we left the gym into the hallway, I decided to go straight to the point. I want to show you something. I found this pocket watch. It belonged to my parents.
What? It's beautiful. Old, but in a good way.
I think you mean antique, right? I don't think it's just a watch, though.
Ooh, is it a spy watch with hidden gadgets?
Technically, yes, the hidden gadgets, because it's got a hidden feature that we don't know about, right? That would count as, well, not necessarily a gadget, but a feature. Maybe. I found it with my parents' research notes.
Weren't they physicists? Well, maybe that was their cover, and they were actually clockmakers.
Yeah, super secret clockmakers. Come on, man. No, they were definitely physicists. Quantum physicists. Quantum physics. I'm pulling out words from different parts of the sentence. Quantum physics was their field of expertise. Also, their cover for what? I don't imagine clockmakers making many enemies. Yes, from the sundials.
How many clockmakers have you ever met?
Trying to think. Not really anyone. Not even in the fictional world of any sort of game ever. Well, none.
Exactly. They are all undercover as other professions.
Okay, he's got us there. He had absolutely nailed this logic. Anyway, back to the pocket watch.
But how does a pocket watch fit with quantum physics?
I mean, time and space. They're like the two basic things for a dimension to happen, right? Anyway, well, their notes seem to suggest that the watch is some sort of conduit for jumping dimensions. Jumping the time dimension. We have not yet jumped space dimension, right? Yoshiki stopped walking suddenly.
Wow! Really? That's amazing!
Thank you. What if you and I jumped dimensions next time, instead of Shizuka? Because obviously Shizuka's dead in this timeline. Also, we didn't invite Shizuka. Shizuka just, invited herself, and we followed along. And then we went to a dimension where we didn't exist. She lost her entire family in the sense of that they were still around, but none of them knew who she was.
My parents did always say that your parents were geniuses.
Okay.
Guess they were right.
Well, yes.
How does it work?
We don't know. Yoshiki was now bouncing up and down on the spot with excitement. I don't really know how, or even if it does work at all.
Their notes didn't say?
For all we know, they could have jumped and just left us. I don't really understand all of their notes just yet, but I think maybe it can work.
That's so cool!
Join me, Yoshiki. Jump dimensions with me.
But... Wait. If you use the watch to travel from this dimension to another dimension, would you get to meet you?
We've tried. Either we had just died, or they had left us and destroyed the pocket watch that we would need to use, and thus leaving us to die in their place. Yes, I am still angry about that. Damn you, Daniel. I don't know. I guess so, maybe.
So, what happens if you meet your alternate self? Does the universe just explode? Do you cause a rip in space and time like so many old movies say?
That's actually a good question. What happens in the universes where we just leave? Do they go around looking for us? Do we skip around in the leaving game? I don't think so. But I don't know, to be honest. If we think about it, right? No, because I would imagine... Because, in the universe where we arrived with the Shizuka, our parents had already left. Also, you have to swap places. I'm assuming you have to swap places with each other. What about you, Yoshiki? And what about you, Yoshiki, and other Yoshikis? What if Dimension Yoshiki doesn't like you? Maybe other Yoshiki is a woman. Well, actually, I'm actually curious about Yoshiki's response to this, because, Yoshiki's going to be, if we ask he doesn't like you, he's going to nonsense. Yoshiki likes everybody. Yoshiki didn't reply at all at first. His jaw dropped and opened with a carefully considered this shocking concept.
A woman?
Yeah.
Could I really be a woman?
I mean, it's the future. You can be anything you want. It's possible. It's possible there are dimensions where you don't exist at all.
Well, I hope girl me is pretty.
If it's anything like boy you, sure. Definitely. Confirmably. Well, of course you would be.
But what if she flirts with you? Would you like her better?
Why, are you jealous? You think I'm gonna get stolen away by you? What, I?
Well, she should know better than to flirt with you.
But then, wouldn't it not be better for me? Because there'd be more Yoshikis.
I'd be kinda jealous.
That's too bad, Yoshiki. I want all the Yoshikis.
You shouldn't even be interested in her.
How dare you? Why not?
She's not even your Yoshiki. I'm your Yoshiki.
But I want all of them. You cannot stop me, Yoshiki.
If you are to love any Yoshiki, it's your own Yoshiki.
What if there is one that does not... What if there's no alternate version of me to have a Yoshiki? Can we not adopt them and make them part of our own? Maybe you'll fall in love with an alternate me.
Or a different alternate you.
Yeah. That sounds very confusing.
You're right. Let's make a rule about sticking with your own dimensions versions.
I mean, that's just that's the code of being friends, alright? I've got your back, you've got mine. That's a broad term that covers everything, and that's involved in alternate dimensions. You've got priority above all of the dimension versions of you.
If you want a Yoshiki, you have to have your own dimensions Yoshiki, and vice versa.
Exactly. I'm still taking as many as I want, though. Agreed. We need a policy for no inter-reality dating.
It's the only safe solution.
I suppose. Yoshiki smiled proudly. It's not every day that you can create and implement a cross-dimensional dating policy. Talking to Yoshiki hadn't really answered any questions about what the watch did or how it worked. But it did put me in a good mood. That's just Yoshiki in general. Just talking to him, regardless of the topic, always made me feel good. Because it's Yoshiki. Yoshiki's the best. Best character out of everyone so far. We had walked together from the gym to the engineering bay. So Yoshiki, what are you working on today?
Engineering.
Do we know? We don't know about the doll so far.
Bye, bestie. I am here if you need me. Have fun with your watch.
I'll have fun with the other Yoshikis just to make you jealous. Yoshiki disappeared into the engineering bay. I headed back to my quarters. The watch problem wasn't about to solve itself, sadly. I sat on the bed with the papers and tablets sprawled. I sat on the bed with the papers and tablets sprawled over the beds. Nothing. Still nothing. This is so frustrating. Okay, I need to calm down. Getting angry isn't going to solve anything. It depends on the problem. I threw myself back on the bed and stared at the ceiling for so long before I suddenly bathed in the warm glow of Ai's holographic interface.
I am sorry to interrupt.
I haven't talked to you in a while. Hello, Ai. Don't worry about it, Ai. You weren't interrupting anything. What's up?
I found some more information that may be useful against Dai.
Okay. Is it another part of the password? What? That's wonderful. What is it?
I've discovered that it's possible to input the deactivation code into any terminal, including your personal tablets.
Okay, so it's repeated text. Do you know anything about the deactivation code? I shook her head.
Unfortunately, I didn't learn anything else.
Yeah.
I tried to access more information, but even with my administrator privileges, I was unable to proceed any further.
Well, you tried. Thank you very much. Well, at least we know where we can input the code once we know what it is.
I am glad you are pleased.
Don't worry about it. This isn't perfect, but it's a step in the right direction.
I must return to my duties.
Okay. Thank you for the update, Ai. I bowed and phased out of my quarters. Deactivated from the tablet or terminal, huh? At least now I knew that I would need a higher clearance level. Is this supposed to be a thought? Because it says I knew. This is no, I know. I'm probably going to have to dig up information on Ayumu if I want to work out this code. I returned my attention to the watch. Come on, Zero. Pull yourself together. You need to work this out. I sifted through my parents' papers and tablets to see if I had missed anything, but I hadn't. I'm glad Yoshiki's alive. It's too many timelines without him alive. My dreams were becoming increasingly disjointed. I woke up sweaty and feeling quite heavy. Is someone else on my bed? It better not be Shizuka. The ghost of Shizuka are not bed again. I felt almost like I'd not slept at all, but I must have at some point. It was really too late in the morning to just go back to bed. I have to get up and start the day whether I wanted to or not. After getting dressed, I went to the kitchen. Kitashi had left something in the fridge for everyone's breakfast, so I helped myself to my portion. Thank you, Kitashi. Kitashi, it seemed to be, he'd been in my dreams a lot. I couldn't remember them clearly, but there was Dai, her voice gleefully counting down to 0, and there was an airlock door, and something about strawberries. While the dream faded quickly from my memory, the fear and concern for Kitashi didn't. I couldn't decide how to make myself feel better, go to Yoshiki and let his positive attitude and friendly smile calm me down, go to see Kitashi and reassure myself that he was still alive, and I could make sure he stayed that way. I'm gonna go to Kitashi. I already talked to Yoshiki about the watch. I found Kitashi in the farm. He was counting the strawberries harvest. Oh no. It had sort of been abandoned on Monday. As soon as I got there, I was ready to help, and he looked mostly finished.
Sorry. Gotta be up earlier than this if you want to be a farmer.
Ooh, damn. At least you seem somewhat positive. Are there a lot of strawberries? Kitashi showed his half-filled basket.
Not as many as I'd like.
That's unfortunate. Still, you did good. Don't worry. What are you going to do next? Maybe I can help with that. At least I could be sure he's still alive. He got to his feet and lifted his heavy basket like it was empty.
I've got some small weeds trying to take over the lettuces. You can help me clear them.
Sure thing. As Katashi led the way to his lettuces, I brought up the latest deletion game. Katashi, I'm worried about this game.
So am I.
Yeah. Obviously, I'd like to prevent that from happening at all, but if we can't, we need to get real about a strategy. There's only one safe strategy I could think of.
I don't think we can strategize. That requires us knowing what the other team is up to, and we just can't know what their plans are.
I mean, sure we can. Beatrix is the only one who's going to be probably trying to win, because the captain's going to try and protect everyone. Also, probably not the captain. Vladimir's going to be protecting Melody. Melody, assuming she knows what's going on, is going to be protecting Vladimir. And that just leaves Beatrix. So yeah. Well, we can at least make sure that someone is safe.
We can't make sure of anything.
I suppose. Oh, we can. If I can take the least... If I take the least points of each round, that means if our team loses, I'll... Katashi dropped his bucket and grabbed me firmly on my shoulders. His fingers dug in and he gripped me with the pressure turned slightly into pain.
No! No! You can't do that! You can't just go and sacrifice yourself!
But I can, though.
I won't let you do this! You can't!
You don't have the choice, I'm the captain. I can do what I want. I don't want to see another friend die. I would rather it be me, and I want to make sure you're okay. I want to make, yeah. Katashi loosened his grip and looking at my face.
Oh. Me specifically?
I mean, you kind of took the biggest hit last round, because you lost Shizuka. I don't know if I ought to tell him about my dreams, but he would worry about them too. And anyway, even with the dreams, I'd still have been concerned. Yes. And I could feel the warm blush rise on my cheek.
Why me? Why not Yoshiki or Nicholas?
Everyone likes Yoshiki, so he should be fine. Nicholas has Beatrix to look out for him. You lost who looks out for you, so... My warm face must have been bright and conspicuous pink. Well, maybe I like you more than them, so I want to protect you.
Oh.
This is not the route I was expecting you to go, but anything to keep them safe.
Seriously?
Who knows? This is why I got rid of Shizuka. Mwahaha. Katashi's face was as red as I imagined mine was, and his grip had now loosened altogether. He'd stopped looking me in the eyes, shying away from meeting my gaze.
You actually want to die for my sake?
More so everyone's, because, like, let's be fair, I dive for Melody because Melody's a child, gotta protect the kids. Die for Yoshiki because Yoshiki's the best. I mean, no, I'd rather not, but if that's what it takes, then I guess
I don't want you to die either.
I imagine you don't want anyone to die.
Perhaps even more than the others. So
That's because you...
maybe...
It's probably because I'm the only one you've got left.
Please don't.
Then again, though, I feel like it's because, if anything, the player is kind of like a parasite, because if the player didn't show up, the game wouldn't have started. And we kind of just wormed our way through in each timeline, we wormed our way into someone's specific life.
Try and play to win. Please.
Only if you do as well. But if I win, that means someone else loses. Maybe you.
But if you lose on purpose, for me, or for anybody, I'll know it's my fault.
Oh, damn, he's got a good point. He's just undone all the work I've been trying to calm him down with.
I'd rather lose because you did your best than feel responsible because you chose to die.
God damn it, Katashi. No. How you've undone everything I was aiming for. I guess you've got a point.
So don't. Please.
Okay. I can't make a guarantee about that, but I'll do it in the heat. What I'll do in the heat of the moment. But I guess I'll go with the intention of trying to win.
That's all I ask.
Fair enough. We started walking again, and Katashi showed me his lettuces. The grass from nearby had begun to grow all over the dark brown dirt from the garden. Katashi explained to me that the grass was unwanted and soaked up nutrients that meant for the lettuce. And so by definition, was now a weed. We didn't talk about the game again. Instead, I learned about how there were many kinds of grass. I didn't know there was either as well. And on that planet, on a planet with the weather and natural atmosphere, some plants were seasonal and couldn't be planted all at once, like on the Everett. Well, that I knew. That obviously things weren't seasonal. It was nice just working with Katashi and not thinking about the game. Cool. What is it?
Good morning! Rise and shine, kids! This is your friendly neighborhood AI requesting you all be in the dining room within half an hour or face the consequences.
Okay, so who broke the rule this time? I'm assuming the Vogels, right? Because they're the only ones. What the?
I repeat, we are ready. All systems are go. This is not a drill. Get to the dining room in 29 minutes and 25 seconds.
For a moment, my head filled with Dai's piercing voice and absolute nothing else. I didn't know where I was, but if he was shouting or even who I was. After a few seconds, I adjusted. It was definitely only Thursday. It's only Thursday? Okay. I counted back over the days since Dai had explained the new game on Monday. There was no way I'd have forgotten that much time. I looked at the clock, 7:23 a.m. It sure didn't feel like it, but maybe that was because I'd only been woken up so suddenly and dramatically. As I got dressed as quickly as possible, I wondered if this random summons was because someone broke the no contact rule, and if so, who? The Vogels. My immediate thought was Beatrix and Nicholas. I doubted they were foolish enough to break the rules and risk punishment, but they had the strongest bond and the most incentive to collude. Yeah. Though Dai had said half an hour, I was not willing to take my chances, and as soon as I was dressed, I rushed out into the corridor and headed towards the dining hall. Yoshi came out of his own quarters exactly as I passed by. I stopped for a moment to wait for him. What happened? Do you know what this is about?
I think maybe someone broke the rule about not communicating with the other team.
Makes sense, and considering you're in your quarters, I would imagine not you. That's what I thought too, but who?
The twins, maybe? Or I thought Melody.
That is true, it could have been Melody. Because if it's Melody, we can't really blame them. Because, yeah, she's like 4. That's possible. She's such a friendly kid, she could easily forget. I thought, I really hope that it wasn't the case. Dad had been very clear that there'd be punishment for breaking the rules, so I doubted she would care if it was an accident or if a child forgetting. Katashi and Nicholas were already in the dining hall when they got there. They were seated close to the door, while at the other end of the table, Beatrix and Kimiko were in a whispered discussion. What happened? Did someone break a rule? Well, that's just admission of guilt, Nicholas.
It was Beatrix and I.
Yep, it had to be your turn.
But I assure you, it wasn't collusion.
I mean, the first thing you did to me when we met was lie to me.
We've been doing fine, sharing a quarters without talking. But she lost something this morning, and it was early, and she was sleepy and frustrated.
Oh no!
She asked if I'd seen it, just without thinking. I answered, and then we both realized what had happened.
Okay, so it's basically what happened with Katashi and I in the very first run of
But
the
then
timeline.
you didn't mean to. Well, it's not fair to punish you for one mistake.
Dai doesn't seem to care that much.
It's not fair to pit us all against each other in a series of murder games either.
Yeah, he's got us there.
I don't think Dai cares about fairness.
Yep,
We'll just have to take our punishment. Hopefully it won't involve dying.
that's true. Yeah, at least you're realizing to kind of just suck it up. The door opened and Vladimir came in, holding Melody's hand. The poor kid was crying, and her father was trying to soothe her as they walked.
Welcome, welcome. It is about time the rest of Team B graced us with their presence. As I'm sure you are already aware, the rule forbidding communication between teams has been broken, which is why you've all been summoned here this morning.
What a shame. Dai was looking around the room, at the crew, when it stopped and focused on Beatrix.
Oh, dearie me, Trixie. You're looking a bit rough around the edges this morning.
What did you lose in order for you to ask a question? I'm assuming, because I would imagine contacts. If Nicholas wears glasses, then you have to. Well, you don't have to, but I'm assuming you would have also. I would assume. Well, I would say glasses, but that would not be contacts, would it?
Just get on with it.
What did you lose?
Oh my. I wouldn't be talking like that if I'd broken the rules.
That's also true.
It was an accident. It isn't like we said anything important.
They didn't even talk about the game.
Oh, my mistake. You can all return to your quarters.
Thank you.
Really?
No, Yoshiki, just leave.
Absolutely not. And I may be wrong here, but did the rules say you were allowed to talk if it wasn't about the game? Is that what the rules said?
I looked around the room again.
Oh, wait. I remember. I made the rules, and no. The rules said no communicating.
Huh.
But Trixie here is right. I need to get on with it. This is too exciting. Let the punishment commence.
It was a mistake. If anyone is to be punished, it should be me. Please leave Beatrix out of this.
I mean, technically, she spoke first, Nicholas, so...
Nicholas.
Oh, how touching. Pity I am punishing everyone, including your precious sister.
The rest of us weren't even involved.
That's true.
Tisk, tisk, Captain. Trying to shirk responsibility. This is a team game, so everyone will be punished.
That is, unfortunately, true. Anyway, though, we'll have to leave it until the next time. Hopefully you had fun. I definitely did with the few communications we've had this time. But hopefully I can see you on the next one. With that, goodbye.